I'm going to introduce you to an entrepreneur who is making a name for herself and her family in the coffee industry. And Al, you're going to love her a latte.
Vietnamese coffee is like double the amount of caffeine, so it'll definitely give you the jolt, and it's made with condensed milk. So it gives you that strong yet sweet flavor that you're tasting.
For Lan Pham, founder and CEO of Sang Vietnamese Coffee, her daily cup of joe is a blend of so much more. What is it about Vietnamese coffee that you love so much?
I just remember growing up and drinking it with my family, and the way it's made from a little Pham filter, and everyone had like a Mr. Coffee maker or whatever, and we just had these little Phams.
Lan, the youngest of 8 children to a single mom, immigrated to the U.S. from Vietnam with her family when she was just 1 year old.
I think when you're growing up and you're just trying to fit in with everybody, I didn't understand why my mom wasn't just having a traditional coffee maker, or why we couldn't have a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch versus noodles and all that.
Lan grew up in California, attending CU Boulder and starting a career in brand partnerships.
We were an agency that matched a lot of consumer brands to these first class and business class cabins and lounges in really desirable airlines, Emirates, Delta, or whatever.
Walk me through the path of how we got here.
It was COVID. Like everyone, I was stuck at home and worked at a job that was really reliant on the airline industry. And it gave me time to think about what I wanted to do next. It was conversations with my boyfriend, who was like, I really want that cup of Vietnamese coffee that we had when we went to Vietnam in 2019. Or like my kids showing me TikToks of like Vietnamese coffee trending, and people were celebrating Asian culture and during the Stop Asian Hate, and there were a lot of Asian brands that were coming out, and there wasn't anything specifically Vietnamese.
Lan worked with a food scientist to scale her traditional coffee recipe, designed packaging, and after months of back and forth, had a prototype that she completely self-funded.
Raising money is definitely not for the weak. You get unwanted advances from potential investors, and you just have to shake it off, and it's just part of the business.
You would go to pitch investors who were men, and they would hit on you.
They would say, let's have dinner, or the buyer will say, oh my gosh, this is yummy, kind of like you.
That person's not okay.
That person is not okay.
Would you have taken money from any of those people?
No, I didn't take money from any of those people at all.
Lan persevered, going on to raise $3 million. I mean, it's important to talk about because that would stop a lot of people from continuing to try to push forward. I mean, it's demoralizing.
You have to push forward because the only way that a woman is going to be in the room is if you actually succeed.
Sang, her line of canned Vietnamese coffees, officially launched in 2022.
I started with just that traditional flavor, and I wanted to add an oat milk to that because people like yourself, Jill, who don't drink dairy, and we wanted a black coffee for the people who don't drink any milk in their coffee. We kind of had an idea of this anti-pumpkin spice and came out with the idea of Saigon cinnamon latte that makes it nice and spicy and flavorful.
Lan believes a taste of the past is a treat for the present. What do you want people to know about your culture and the importance of family?
For me to be able to share what Vietnamese culture is, and it's so strong in coffee, and it's so strong in our heritage of rituals, and it's a big journey, but I'm so glad that I'm able to celebrate Vietnam and the differences of Vietnam, of all the other Asian cultures, and the beauty of it.
And we have some of her flavors here. Sang is now available online and at retailers like Target, Sprouts, and more. And I have everybody trying. It's delicious, right?
Delicious. It's really good.
And I just want to give a shout out to Vicky Nguyen. We found this story because she was sitting next to her on a plane.
Oh, wow.
Really? And they hit it off. And Vicky said, you have to look into her. She made it. So stories everywhere.
That's incredible.
So we love it.
And it's so interesting to find out how many different ways there are to make coffee. And the difference in the taste and texture.
Absolutely. And you don't usually drink iced coffee, and everyone cheers as my 15-month-old nephew.
I can actually see through my eyelids with this coffee.
Oh, you got the caffeine.
All right.